This week we're here in Istanbul with our Eurasian team, particularly our two Russian couples that have been using our training and been implementing some of the mentoring and discipleship guides. And so Narina and Valery are here with us, and they're going to share a little bit of what's happening with them in St. Petersburg and how God is using them and how they're going to be implementing the CLI, which is our new Christian Leadership Institute. It's more of a formalized training, but in a competency-based training and using a mentoring approach. And so I'm really excited about that. It's a new thing we've been doing in Latin America, and now we're seeing them implementing it here in Russia and other parts of Eurasia as the Lord provides opportunities for us.
С юга России, Санкт-Петербург, получив слово от Бога. И мы служили в...
4 years ago, we moved from the south part of Russia to St. Petersburg, and we joined a big international church and helped them with leadership training, and in different activities and spheres were involved, and we were continuing training up leaders, and had 12 couples to prepare for the marriage and also discipled them. A half a year ago, we heard a word from God to start a new church, and God gave us the name for that church, which is called Face to Face. So we are sitting around the tables. We completely changed and transformed the ministry, the liturgy itself, and we sit together, pray for one another, serve each other with spiritual gifts, and try to help and exhort each other. At the moment, we're having 4 couples. We're going to disciple as leaders and also using mentoring materials. And actually, recently we've been introduced to CLI materials, and we're going to start implementing that with this group. And also, some churches around Russia started joining us and asking for help, advice, and also help with mentoring. So we're going to implement with those and use it in a kind of discipleship making movement, when you train someone in something and then he does it with others. So the same sort of thing as Jesus did. So we are really blessed with what God is doing, and we hope we'll see the fruit with Him together.
Alexei and Tatiana are in Moscow, and he is the leader of a seminary there for Eurasia. It was a real privilege for us to be in relationship with them for 15 years now and to walk with them. And this was just one more step in our journey as we met here in Turkey to be able to be partners together and truly walk with each other in this journey that God has called us to.
My name is Alexei. I'm from Moscow, Russia. It's about 25 years as we're involved in developing ministerial training in Russia. While talking to Valery and Narina, it was interesting for me to hear about the new approach they're doing now in planting a church in St. Petersburg. I like the way how they build kind of a new wine skill or a new structure, which is not really traditional for evangelicals, but I believe that it really more suitable for involving much more people into ministry, for mentoring them, for equipping them, and really releasing them in ministries. But we also understand that this approach of mentoring, work with teams, helping people in leading the change in their churches is very important for equipping and to help churches really to go through some difficult times, for some changes. So we really believe that the materials which ICM develops are very helpful.
Yes, and the whole concept of mentoring is very, very fruitful, I believe, now and for years to come, because, for example, people get understanding of education that you go to the school, you learn something, and then you work on that. And now the situation is changing so much, and the context where ministry is changing so much, especially in Russia. So we need new education, and it seems like mentoring approach in general is much more fruitful when you not just learn once, but you have the relationship that allow you to grow and to spiritually develop throughout your time. So the succession is a big thing now, I think, for the church in Russia, and mentoring provides this the wonderful method that can help this process to go as smoothly as it possible.
While being here in Istanbul, we discussed new materials which Phil developed about finishing well. And for us and for Valera and Narina, it was quite important topic.
This week in Istanbul has been really important for me because it gave the new material how to approach the mature years of the ministry. Nowadays, those young people who had been saved in 90s in Russia already reaching the age of 50, 60, and they are thinking how to pass the baton to the young ministers, and many questions of burnout and disillusionment and maybe the expectations that has not been realized is coming to them. So it was important for us to see what are the questions that can be asked, and as a counselor it will help me to deal with these questions and to do it the most effectively.
We just want to thank you for your financial support, your prayers, as we provide training and encouragement for couples like Irina, Valery, Alexei and Tatiana, and others within the Eurasian region that we're serving.
Пусть кто-то не поймет,